What's up, everybody? Hi, Clayton, Sharon, Jeff. Hey, I just wanted to do a quick live stream just to say thank you for this last year and supporting my channel, and basically show you I needed to do this night for my son for Christmas. So I thought I'm just going to do it live real quick, share what I'm doing, and at the same time say thank you and Merry Christmas to everyone. So that's all I plan on doing. So it's going to be short. I can't stay here for 2 hours because I have to leave. Let's see, probably run about an hour and then I'll shut it down. But let me show you what I'm working on. And let me make this big. There we go. So I have this knife. And what I'm going to do is just quickly give it a nice quick trace with the pen tool, and then put a pattern inside that and engrave that pattern onto that blade. And here I have some new patterns to work with. I'm just going to pick one of these. Wait, where'd it go? I just saw it. There it is. I used your $10 gift idea and engraved a name on the back of anodized blade of a knife for personalized gifts. Awesome. I like hearing that feedback. Oh, it's hello. But there's plenty of patterns to choose from. There's one. It was like, I'm thinking number 11. No, looks too much like leaves. There's one that reminded me of spiders. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Might go with that. Yes, the other day when I did that machete, I did not have these patterns, and now I do. So I thought I would try one out. I was gifted these by a friend, Brandon, who was actually wanting me to engrave a knife for him, and he said, I'll just buy the patterns, and then you can have them and use them. Fair enough. All right, now I'm being indecisive. It's basically what I'm going to do is just shrink one of these down to fit inside the knife blade. So I'm trying to think which one might look best. I don't want it to look like leaves, though. It's got a more zebra feel to it. Let's go with number 20. We'll see how it looks. I just copied that right over to LightBurn. And by the time we shrink this down to fit it in the knife, this should look pretty good. All right, so quickly with the pen tool, I'm going to click. Then you want to click and drag to make your curve. Didn't take my first click, did it? It did. Hold on. So there's the line. And to make curves, you click and drag. It's wanting to snap. Let me turn snapping off. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to click here and then just give that a slight curve. Click there. Click here, give that a little curve. Actually, I'll just come back and fix that with node editing. Click there. See. Hold that down, give that a little curve. Hold this down, give that a curve. Click and drag. Whoops. All right, so now I'm going to have to join these shapes together, probably. Click and drag. Then click. All right, now let's just go to node editing. Drag that up here. Make sure those two will join. All right, now let's see if this works. Whoops. Let me move this out of the way. No, I don't want to move that out of the way. I just want to hide it. So let's select that, then edit, close path, close paths with tolerance. I still not wanting to close them. Oh, still that back right there. Close path. Close path with tolerance. There we go. Now, bring the image back, convert changes to line mode, and then see what the error is. Delete that. All right. Go to node edit. Have that. I'm going to insert a node here, hit the S for smooth, and then just bring this out a little bit. Then I wanted to fix this one over here. That should be good enough. All right. Greg's still loving his raptor feet. Me too. I look at mine and it puts a smile on my face every time I take notice of them. All right, so there's side one, Control D. So we need 2, and then I'm going to mirror that. And the reason I want 2 is because I'm going to inset the name on one side. All right, so here we have our pattern. So let's shrink it down to fit. Yeah, I think that'll look good. Yep, no problems. Let's just line them up. Control D, because I'm going to need 2 copies of the Damascus pattern. There's 2 copies of that. 2 of that. And I want the name on the left side of the blade. So that would be this one over here. So this one, we can just go ahead and do this. Should be able to just select them all, go to the Boolean operation, and do an intersect, and there we go. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. Intersect, there we go. And I'm going to add the name in. And I'm going to put it right here. And I just remembered this template. I need a 3rd copy because I forgot to keep a copy for framing. So let's go here back to a Boolean. Of course, you can use the assistant, but I want subtract. All right. Now I have 1 copy for framing. That's for engrave. This one is going to get the name. Make that bold, Arial. Then the first thing I want to do is offset. Okie dokie. All right, that's looking pretty good there. Let me make sure that's grouped. Then I want to go into wireframe mode. Turn that orange. Then I want to select this first and select this second. And tools. Cut shapes ignored. Use the Boolean to see what happens. That's not what I want either. I want cut shapes. Why doesn't cut shapes want to work? A minus B Ah, I know why. Let me see. Nope, it's already a path. It's the offset. Ungroup that. They take the edit, convert to path. I think that was the problem. I forgot to convert it to path before I grouped it. Nah, I still don't want to. Yeah, it might be because the name of the offset or group. I converted it to a path though. I've encountered this before, and I cannot remember what I did to get it to actually work. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is just make it easy. Ungroup it. I'm just going to take the offset and cut it out. No, it's still not wanting to work. What's up with that? So we'll just use Boolean. That'll work. I'm going to make that blue. Blue. There we go. Group. Window. Field. That works. Let's do it that way. All right. Then I'm going to hit P, then hit P, so those are exact. Then I'm going to frame it. I don't have it sized yet, so I'm just going to frame it and adjust the size based off the framing. And I'm just going to do the whole. Hit my page up, make it bigger. All right, I think we're in good shape. Now I need to turn on my camera so you can see. And I'm running a setting I'm going to put in there. I'll show you. And I call it fast black. So if you have a MOPA, you could actually use this setting. But here it is. Normally it takes, a real slow method to get a black mark. So I did some experimenting and came up with this fast black setting. And I like the way it turns out. So you can copy that down. And then we will go over to the knife itself. Now, this is one of the Swiss Tech knives that's sold at Walmart. These are Walmart only. Swiss Tech Halt Bar. Let me see. It does not like that box. There we go. It's fixed blade and it comes with a nice leather sheath. So he's almost 14 and a half and he needs a nice fixed blade knife. in my opinion. So let me assign that. All right, so here we go. I'll frame it again just so you can see. That's where we're going. Merry Christmas, Desert Flowers. Hey, Luke, how's it going? Hey, Robert, I didn't see you come in. And Smoke Show. Anyone else lurking? Say hi. So this gets a pretty good mark pretty quickly. And I have it set up to run 4 passes. If it looks good after 2, I'll just stop it. But most of the time, I'll let it run 4. I'll go off and do something else. But normally at least 2 passes. Yes, this is the 60-watt JPT MOPA. Hey, Nipa, how's it going today? So while that's running, I'm going to grab the other copy of that knife for the other side, mirror my template, and then resize that. Oh, excuse me. Then resize the other knife blade to match the template. See, it's at 97.465. 97.465. Yes, the Lasermatic can mark on steel, and I have done it. There's a couple of videos on my channel, actually. So check those out. Normally, the second pass is what fills in and makes it very, very dark. And if I let it run 4, sometimes it gets darker. It just depends on the steel or what cutting's on the blade. This is looking pretty good after 2. From one angle, it's got a little blue tint to it. So if I let it run another, say 3 or all 4, it will get rid of that blue tint. TJ, he's doing great. Let's see. I think they said his scapula was fusing back together in perfect position, so he didn't have to worry about that. And he's back to working, and I think doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of Tiger Stripes. I like that just fine. Although he's a Steelers fan, hopefully he doesn't think it looks like the Bengals. I knew that little engraving was there on the blade, so that's why I moved his name over. Merry Christmas, Luke, and everyone else. Yeah, I think I'm just going to let this run all four. It's looking good. And then I'll do the four on the other side. And call it a day. Actually, I do have a few other things I need to engrave before Christmas party tomorrow, but I'll do those later. Greg, since you're talking about the feet, while this is running, not too much is going to change here. You can see it's getting a little darker with each pass. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is for my son, who's a Steeler fan. I'm a Steeler fan as well. But, Greg, if you look right there, I still have my feet. I did some rearranging and some cleaning up. Does it look a little better behind me? Hey, Pop Pop, what's going on? Yes, it is. A gift for my son. Let me move my mic a little bit. I lose my sunglasses and stuff so often, I started hanging them from my microphones, my reading glasses and sunglasses. I could turn on the light and actually show you the rearrangement of my shop here in a minute. Let me get back over to knife. Pop Pop actually had a sneak peek of my rearranged shop. Well, I think 4 passes is gonna be perfect. Do any of you guys use Android and use the Windows link to PC function? I guess Samsung's getting rid of DeX and going to the Windows version, making it a Windows version. But the link to PC is very handy. That's how I brought that picture into LightBurn. All I did was take a picture on my phone, then go to the link to PC app, which is right on my Windows PC, and then just copy it and paste it right from the linked PC app. It's very simple now to transfer an image. Well, great, Greg. I'm glad you enjoy the raptor feed. This thing's almost done. Looking good. That's another great way to do it, Jeff. That's what I used to do that, but the link to PC is so much faster. I didn't know if I don't know. Does Apple have any apps like that? That'd be cool. Let's see, I can find a link and paste it in the chat real quick. All right, that guy's done. Looks good. Let's get ready for side 2. That looks about right. It's reflecting off of that knurled edge on the top. All right, here we go, side 2. Let me find the link. Oh my goodness. Come on. I'm looking for this video. No wonder. I was in the wrong tab. Oops. All right, here it is. All right, Desert Flowers. There is the link to the engraving steel with the diode laser video. And yes, it can do halftones and images on steel. Actually, I have an image on steel picture I can show you. Here is an image on steel. That was done with the same laser from an image file, not a vector file. Then it was clear coated, so it wouldn't rust. Oh, Desert Flowers, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Let me share that with the group. Thank you very much. Let me get another one and show you. And this is a vector on steel. This one's bigger, so I did it on my larger laser. But that is a vector on steel. That turned out very good as well. So that was an image that I traced into a vector pattern and put it on steel. Now, if you want to see a huge piece of steel that I did with my 120 watt laser, I'll show you this. That was done with a 120 watt fiber and a 400 millimeter lens. Let's see. No, it should not harm the laser. Just some firmware will not allow you to change the frequency. So it depends. Their firmware might not even allow the change. You might input it. It says it changed it, but it really didn't. You just have to experiment and see. If you definitely get a different result after changing frequency, you'll know that it is changing it. Hop in and check on the knife again. I had the chassis for the laser. It had an 80 watt source in it. So the only thing I did was purchase a 120 watt source and replace that into the fiber laser. It was not cheap, but I went through Hotian Laser. And since I'm an affiliate of theirs and working with them, I got it at a discount, but it was still expensive. And this has been about a year and a half ago. But that's the best way to do it. If you have a laser with a lower power source and you want a higher power, just get the source and upgrade. You might need to replace the power supply if the new source requires different voltage, but that is one way to upgrade your fiber laser. Yeah, that big sign that I did, that was just the laser coloring the metal. Cool. After you do some tests, report back in one of the streams and let me know. And you can get good different colors and shades with the non-MOPA laser. I can show you what I did with a 50 watt Racus. This is an example I like to keep around and have handy to let people know that even if they don't have a MOPA, focus, you can still get some great color and variations and shades from a non-MOPA laser. And those that talk about MOPA collars and collars on steel rusting, this has been sitting in my basement for probably 2 years. No clear coat or anything, and that's what it looks like still. Oh, I can show you a couple more axe heads too. Knife is done. Let's show you that. There's side 2. Here's side 1. Nice and smooth. Looks like Jeff said. It looks like it was painted on there. Any discount available for the Talon Rotary? I think he has those on sale. I can double check, Sergio, and see. Be right back. I guess I'll make this show and tell. All right, here are 2 more axe heads. This one was also done with a 50-watt Rakus. So I did that one in earth tones. And it's also not been clear coated. And the backside has this color on it. Some blues. And then, hey, Kenny, here's a flying fox. I got some different shades on it. Stay wild, throw better. Stay in focus. Any day. Come on. A fox is the wolf who brings flowers. The name of this axe is called a flying fox. So that's why I went with the fox theme. And the whole shading of the whole axe head, I did that first, then engraved the rest of it. There's a couple examples. I've done a bunch of axes. I have more, a lot of pictures posted in various places. I used the 60-watt MOPA on the knife with the 200 millimeter lens. Then it turned out excellent. So to you again. Anyway, these are really nice knives from Swiss Tech at Walmart. Here's the sheath that it comes with. So it comes with a leather sheath. It's very nice. It's heavy too, full tang. I like it. I have a similar one myself. I thought I would get my son this version for Christmas. Need to do a couple tumblers, but I'm not going to do those right now. Basically, yeah, you're adding the oxidation layer to them. It's more like tempering. If you're tempering a piece of steel and you see it go through all the collars, you're just changing the color of the metal with the temperature. Trying to think. Let me find the chart. Of course. Open image in new tab. Hold on, I'm getting there. All right. So I do blacksmithing too on occasion, and you end up having to temper this. You have to temper the steel to rearrange the molecules and make the blades harder than the rest of the steel, and all that kind of stuff. So the tempering chart kind of gives you a guide of at what temperature you achieve what color. So if you're getting a yellow on your steel and you want it to get bluer, you need to add a little more power to increase that temperature. But this kind of gives you a guide. If you see right in the middle is the purple violet, that's why red's the hardest, because it's just a narrow temperature range. And blues are much easier because it's a wider temperature range, if that makes sense to you. Hopefully. I can show you an example of how easy blues are. Blue comes super easy. It's just a test grid. Good night, B. Leah's video, that's in the Lasermatic Facebook group. No, I wouldn't temper the edge of a blade with the laser. I'm just talking about basically tempering it for the collar. If I was going to temper the edge of a blade, I would not do that. Use a laser for it. That's when you want to do the quench and set a hard edge. But yeah. All right, knife is done. Let's see. How soon before I have to leave? Probably about 15 more minutes. I don't really have enough time to set up anything, I don't think, to do a quick engrave. Yeah, because I need to do a couple tumblers. That would take a little bit longer than 15 minutes just to get set up and the laser turned on and moving the cameras and everything. I did have another thought, but now it's escaping me. You're welcome, Desert Flowers, and thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas. Oh, I was going to show you the shop. Let me turn the lights on. I don't use overhead lights when I'm on camera because it washes me out. Give me a second. There we go. So I'm going to gently take this out. Try not to make you seasick. Kenny, yes, I did. I've been in the know about that for a little while. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? All right, so I have my real big CO2 Galvo. It's a good thing I started working out again. It's sitting on its side right here. So there's my big CO2 Galvo. CO2 gantry, not Galvo. I took it out of the corner, and right now it's sitting there in front of my tool cabinet. And over there, I have the Monsport Onyx and the Wheat Create and the G2, and I have some gantries hanging up from the rafters. But the main thing I was going to show you, we'll start over here. I've got 3D printers. Nice and neat. I have this laser that I just need to rewire the stepper motors, and I'm going to sell that with a 50-watt Racus. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm trying to work on my Ender 3, which is down below. The extruder stepper is not working, so I have to fix that. I'm trying to yell at the mic over here. Then here's that new Montport Mega. So I have it over in the corner. I added a new workbench so that I'd have some space to do unboxings and do some computer work. And there's CO2 and then the Lasermatic. I put some stuff on the shelves. Got my TV up and running again. Then we go back. There's the UV, the Hotian UV. I'm going to get tangled in my cords. See, I'm able to do this. I'll show you. I have, I think it's a 30-foot HDMI cord and USB extension. So that's what provides HDMI output to my switcher and power to the camera. I even have it nice and neat with zip ties. But anyway, there's the Hotian 60-watt CO2 Galvo. And I have to make room because I have another Hotian laser coming. And then there's the 120-watt, and there's the Montport 60. For the most part, I have my countertops clear for a change. And then, of course, I have my command center. Get off of there. Let's touch your screen. No idea about the conveyor. That I do not know. I'll get you guys the link for that video. Let's see. Click on the time, then it gives me the link, copy, and paste. So there is the link to Leo's post of the Mark III. Basically, it is a Galvo mounted on a gantry. And to make it even easier for you, you'll see that on that gantry is mounted the diode Galvo laser. So it combines the workspace of a gantry with the speed of a Galvo. They've been working on this for a while. They've had a couple prototypes, but it's getting close. I wouldn't expect anything to be for sale until mid to late January. But it's amazing. When I heard that Leo was going in this direction, I was all for it because it's just a game changer. It's definitely impressive. Rolly keeps innovating. Can you imagine what all the competition's thinking when they saw this? They're probably like, "Oh my gosh, what are we going to do now? How can we keep up?" Oh yeah, the Mega with the conveyor. The Mega. I had a remote support session with Momport yesterday, and I'll tell you, I would not spend my money on it right now if you were expecting the curved surface engraving to work or the camera to work accurately. And they are not close to having the conveyor software working. So they released it, and they don't have the main selling points uh, at a state where they can release an upgraded firmware. Another thing, the camera calibration's off. And then another thing, which I found out yesterday when I went to play around with it, once I finally got some things working, because it actually is Gerbil. It's a Gerbil controller. They're using Gerbil communications, and you have to use an adapter for LightBurn to see it and talk to it. Because it's Gerbil, you cannot use autofocus in LightBurn. So you have to manually set like an offset on your Z-axis. So you have to measure the height of your object and then the height from it to the focal point, and then put an offset in just to get it at the right height for the object you're engraving. So it's not even autofocus, and it's more labor involved than just manually turning a thumb screw and adjusting your height manually. I'm kind of disappointed, and as much as I want to do the live stream Friday, I might cancel it until then. I'm not going to do it until they get their crap together. Thanks, Farthead. Have a Merry Christmas. I appreciate it. Well, with the Galvo and the way it's mounted, it'd be hard to get. You could get some air down there, but the main thing would be when it goes into cutting mode, that air assist is hooked up to the cutting head. Which it looks like it should be. Let's see the metal air pipe down on the cutting head. One thing I don't know is what software they're using to control this. I'm not sure if they're using LightBurn or not. That is the laser. Well, it's not going to be called the Lasermatic, but right now you can call it the MK3. Leo posted that in the Facebook group today as a Merry Christmas to everyone. But that was their first prototype. They've had two, or I think they might be on the third prototype now. I'm not sure. But that was from September. But they've made great strides since then. So that's an early version. But basically, you have a Galvo mounted on a gantry, and it's pretty freaking amazing. Then they also have a separate cutting head. So you'll use the Galvo for the engraving, and then the cutting head that you see there on the right to do your cuts. Yep. And they have some other surprises in store too. Just be patient and wait to hear the news. Enjoy this for now. All right, it is now 2:45. I'm going to have to wrap this up and get out of here and go spend some time with family, but it's been great hanging out with you guys. So thank you very much for hanging out for an hour or so while I engraved the knife. Hopefully you learned something. If not, that's okay too. But anyway, I appreciate everyone watching, and I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And I know I'll see you before the new year. But in case I don't, have a Happy New Year too. But thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.